So I think one thing we can all agree on, my fellow agents, is the fact that there are a handful of builds in this game that are a must-have for every single player out there. Now keep in mind as I say that, of course that statement is going to be dependent on how you actually enjoy playing the game, but one request I've received since the start of Year 6 Season 3 is to highlight my go-to run and gun build. Now for the record, this is something I've been using for an incredibly long time. However, with the introduction of the new global modifier and the fact that we do have the Golden Bullet global event starting next week, I figured this was the perfect time to highlight this build. Now as always, we're going to jump right into the details, and if you happen to enjoy this, do me a favor and hit that like button. It truly helps the channel out, and if you want to stay up to speed on all things Division, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button as well. And pardon the barking dogs in the background. It's Saturday morning, I'm trying to record, the family's up and about, Again, what are you going to do? Anyway, with the specialization, you can see I'm using Gunner. Main reason for that is because it does give me access to the Banshee Pulse. And that is something that is definitely going to help you out, especially as you're approaching a group of NPC with a global modifier active. And one thing I'd like to mention as we continue is that even if you use this build without any global modifiers going whatsoever, I promise you, my fellow agents, it is an absolute monster. Now moving on to the build itself, my primary weapon is the Dark Winter SMG. Now one thing I've said previously is that this is one of those must-have weapons for every player out there. Now it happens to be a PvP exclusive, but you can also get it from name caches as well. Now in the meantime, if you do not have this weapon, which does have the talent Perfect Killer, killing an enemy with a critical hit grants 90% crit hit damage for 10 seconds, which is a lifetime in this game. And for those of you out there who do not have this weapon, while you're trying to pick it up, feel free to use any other SMG with the regular talent killer on it. I promise you that can still get the job done. Or use something else. You could use Lady Death, the Ouroboros, the Oxpecker. You could even use St. Elmo's. I mean, even though it's not an SMG, this gear set, when you are so close to enemies, you are absolutely decimating everything left and right. And again, to be very clear, that's with or without the global modifiers active. Now moving on to my secondary, it's an ACS-12 with a talent close and personal. Again, feel free to put anything you want in its stead, which is now going to take us to the gear itself, and I'm going to show you a few different variations you can run with. Now starting with the mask, you can see it is the first of 4 pieces of the Hunter's Fury gear set. We're running 4 so we get all of the gear set bonuses. 2 pieces 15% shotgun and SMG damage, 3 pieces 20% armor on kill and 50% health on kill. And 4 pieces Apex Predator. Enemies within 15 meters receive a debuff, amplifying your weapon damage against them by 20%. Killing a debuffed enemy with your weapon disorients other enemies within 5 meters and amplifies weapon damage by 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Now moving on to the body armor, it's the 1 piece of Sokolov. That's going to give us an extra 10% SMG damage bonus. And you can see I'm using the talent Obliterate. Critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 10 seconds. That is also going to stack up to 20 times. Continuing on to the holster, the knee pads, and the gloves, they are the 3 remaining pieces of the Hunter's Fury gear set, and you'll notice on a few of these pieces I've decided to change my core to armor just for a little more survivability. You may want more, you may want less. I also want to mention the fact that I'm trying to stack crit hit chance and crit hit damage everywhere I can on this build. Last but not least, we have the backpack, which as you can see is the memento, and as a solo player, this is probably the best backpack in the game. As you're picking up those trophies, you're going to get that extra weapon damage, bonus armor, skill efficiency. You do have some other options as well, which I will highlight in a moment. Now in this version of the build, I'm sitting at 59% crit hit chance. Remember the max is 60 and 125.8 crit hit damage. That is going to be dependent on not only the gear I have equipped, but having a Shade Watcher level 1000. Now another great option if you do not want to use the memento for whatever reason, you can use a piece of Sokolov on your chest like you can see here, and on this version, you can see I'm using the talent Intimidate, and with that talent, when you have bonus armor, you're going to get a weapon damage increase to enemies within 10 meters, which directly coincides with the talent on your gear set. This build is truly designed for run and gun close quarters combat. Now making our way to the backpack, I have switched to a second piece of Sokolov. And that is going to give us an extra 13% crit hit damage bonus, and I'm using the talent Bloodsucker. When you kill NPCs, it's going to give you bonus armor. That's going to directly coincide with the talent on our chest, our gear set, all that good stuff. So again, my fellow agents, when all of this is combined, there's really good synergy. And when you look at the numbers of this version, you can see I'm still sitting at 59% crit hit chance. Remember the max is 60 and 164 crit hit damage. Now I point that out because again, even though my crit hit damage is higher, I'm not getting certain buffs with the memento. So again, fellow agents, try out different variations, truly make this build your own. Now, as I said previously, while the modifiers are completely and totally optional, when you have them on, it is absolutely even more insane than before. All right, so you can see right here, I'm using the active modifier Overdrive. And my 3 passive modifiers are Fortified Shield, Critical Recovery, and Critical Momentum. Now, if you have no idea how to unlock these, I'm going to leave a link to a video I posted the other day. It's going to walk you through all the details. On that note, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage with commentary. As always, let me know if you have any questions I did not address. And also, do me a favor, let me know in the comments section, what do you think of this season so far? You know, based on the feedback you've been sending to the channel, a lot of people are thoroughly enjoying it. For me, I'm definitely one of them. You know, one thing I've said in previous videos is that I never touched the modifiers year 6 season 2, but this season is really enjoyable. And remember, even though I'm using a Hunter's Fury build, which is based around close quarters combat, when you have the modifiers active, it is not range-based. You know what I mean? So you can put so many different builds together. So as you've heard me say countless times in countless videos, use this as a template, take your time, make a build your own. On that note, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible support. Like I said before, let me know of any other questions you have. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time. And as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Good morning, my fellow agents. Happy Saturday to each and every one of you. It's been crazy. We had this dumpster day in our neighborhood. So, you know, they set up all these dumpsters throughout the neighborhood so people can get rid of some shit that's just been laying around. And it's supposed to start at 8 a.m., right? But you have people lining up at like 7, and it's insane what some people are dropping off. And it's crazy because I'm trying to get rid of stuff, but you see people throwing away things and you totally want to take it, which is, you know, that defeats the purpose of going there in the first place. Anyway, my friends, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. What's today's question going to be? Are we going to do these every day? And for those of you that may not know, at the end of every video now, I kind of do just a little, you know, chit chat with you and I ask these random questions. What are your plans for the weekend? How about that? Just, you know, basic plans. For me, did the dumpster day, got to go to an eye doctor appointment. I think that's all I got. Maybe do some work in the yard. Who knows? Bed Bath & Beyond? I don't know. I don't know if I have enough time. If you know that quote, reference the movie in the comments section. I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you again for everything, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hostile control point nearby. Reinforcements have arrived. Supply room access unlocked.